All right, guys, so we are moving on to chapter 16 now. We're going to go ahead and skip chapter 15 because we've done most of it, and I believe 16 is a lot more important than 15. 15 is just volume of cones, of cylinders, of spheres. I don't really use that as much, but exponents is something that we use all the time. So I want to spend extra time on this, or make sure that we get time to do exponents. So 16.1 is just introduction to exponents. You guys should know what an exponent is. So what we're doing today, we're writing products, which remember, a product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Writing products as exponents and then evaluating expression. So what it means to evaluate is to give me an answer. So if I say 5 cubed, you don't leave it as 5 cubed. You say 125. That would be evaluating the expression, giving me the answer. So example 1, write the product using exponents. So remember, an exponent is a number that has a base and it has the exponent. And remember, this is multiplication. So what we are going to be doing, we're just rewriting all of these problems so that they are in the form of an exponent. So we are doing 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Therefore, we are doing 5. How many times are we multiplying it? 4. Remember, that's what an exponent is. We have our base, which is the number 5, and there's 4 of them. Since there's 4 of them, we put 5 to the 4th. So this second one, well, we're using the number negative 3 over 4, but how many of them are there? Well, there's 3 of them. So we're done. Not too bad yet, right? For C, we're using 2 numbers this time, so let's do them separate. So first, we are using 8. And then how many times are we using it? 4. Multiply that by m. And how many times are we using m? Twice. That's going to be your answer. So you could put it like that, or you could do 8 to the 4th m squared. Both of those are correct. You could put the dot in the middle, but you don't have to. And then the last one, we're using negative 2. How many times? Twice. And then we're multiplying that by p. How many times are we using p? 3 times. So our answer is negative 2 squared, p to the third. And remember, we know this is multiplication because when it's smushed together, it's always multiplication. You could put the dot, you could put the x, but you don't have to. Whenever the two separate terms are smushed together, that's automatically multiplication. So hopefully this is kind of a fresh reminder of how to do exponents. You guys should definitely know this. We did this in chapter 1 or 2. Okay, so now this says to evaluate the expression. Evaluate. So that means give me an answer. So if you guys are going to give me an answer, you don't leave it as 5 to the 4th. Or with B, you don't just simplify that. I actually need an answer. So 5 to the 4th, yeah, you could put that in a calculator, but we don't have to. Let's break up 5 to the 4th. So if we break up 5 to the 4th, we're going to get 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, right? So this is the same thing as 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Well, 5 times 5 is 25, right? 25 times 25 can give you your answer. So 25 times 25 is 625. That's your answer. And we could just check. I'm going to use my phone. 25 times 25, 625. Yep. Now, B, remember, we have to do PEMDAS. Whenever we're doing expressions, we always do PEMDAS. So first we need to do parentheses. Oops, that's not the right thing. So parentheses. So parentheses is everything in here. So we have to do that inside first. So after we do parentheses, well, we have to do exponents. So I see the exponent here and I see the exponent there. So I'm going to do 1/2 parentheses. So I need to do 10 squared first. Well, 10 times 10 is 100 minus 3 times 3 times 3 is 27 times, now I missed that one right there, 27 times 16, right? So that gives me 1/2. Now, after that, we need to do, after parentheses, exponents, multiplication, and division, well, that means we have to do this part first. So 27 times 16. So 27 times 16 is 432. So that gives me 100 minus 432. And then the last thing to do is, or second to last thing to do, is going to be addition and subtraction. So that's going to be right there. So 1/2 times 100 minus 432 is negative 332. Now that's all inside the parentheses, so that's why we had to do it first. So now we take half of 332. So 332 divided by 2 is 166. However, we have a negative right there, so it's a positive times a negative, so we get negative 166. Let's do the next one. 3 minus negative 2 times negative 4 squared. So the first thing I see is exponents, right? Because there's nothing actually inside parentheses to do. Right here, we only see a negative 2. We can't do anything with that inside the parentheses. So therefore, we just leave it as a negative 2, right? So we can't do anything with that. So the first thing we're going to do is this squared. So 3 minus negative 2 times, well, negative 4 times negative 4. Think about it. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. After that, we have multiplication and division, which is right there, right? So that's 3 minus, well, negative 2 times positive 16 is negative 32, right? And then lastly, we have addition and subtraction. So we have subtraction right there. So 3 minus negative 32 is the same as 3 plus 32, which is 35. So that's what it means to evaluate. Give me an answer. All right, let's continue. So we're going to simplify the expression. So we don't need to give an answer this time. We're going to keep them as exponents, but we're just going to simplify. So one way that we can simplify is to break everything up. Notice with A, B, and C, we have the same base. For A, the base is 5. For B, the base is A. For C, the base is negative 2. So since we have similar bases, we can kind of put them together. Now, we're not going to do any rules yet. That's next lesson. We're going to assign rules to exponents. But right now, we're just going to kind of break them up. So 5 cubed is 5 times 5 times 5, right? And 5 squared is 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 times 5 goes here, and 5 times 5 goes right there, right? So therefore, if we want to put this together, we're going to put all of that together. That equals 5. And how many of them are there? 5 to the 5th. That's your answer. For the second one, a to the 5th is a times a times a times a times a. And then that goes there, and then a to the 4th is a times a times a times a. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a to the 9th power, right? And then this one is negative 2 times negative 2, and then times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So we have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So that's negative 2 to the 7th power. We don't need to put an answer for that one. We don't have to put that as negative 64 or whatever. 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16, 3, 264, 128. Negative 128. We don't have to do that. Leave it as negative 2 to the 7th power. All right, so let's do some practice. Let's just kind of compare A and B. They look very similar, right? But remember, when we have the plus sign, we just put the number in front. So what we do, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C plus C plus C plus C plus C is 5C. C to the 5th would be wrong. C to the 5th is wrong. It's 5C because we are adding, right? For this next one, c times c times c times c to the fourth power is your right answer because exponents are multiplication. So if you were to put for c, that, my friends, is wrong because we're multiplying, right? So now, c, 0.75 times 20 squared minus 2 cubed times 4 squared. So first we need to do exponents and parentheses, right? So there's going to be 0.75 times 20 squared. 20 times 20 is 400 minus 2 cubed is 8 times 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. So that's 0.75 times 400 minus, well, 8 times 16 is going to be 128, right? So 0.75 times, well, that's going to give you 272. 400 minus 128, 272. And then put that in the calculator times 0.75. It's going to give me 204. That's my answer. So that's just step by step, guys. You always do the parentheses first. So you have to do everything inside the parentheses, which means you have to do exponents and then multiplication and division, and then finally addition and subtraction. Now that we've finished our parentheses, then we can do the rest of the problem. All right, your homework due Friday, the 22nd, 16.1 is 2 through 26 is 13 problems. It's not that bad, guys. Good luck. We're almost done with the school year. Keep powering through, and I will see you guys later, challengers. Have a good rest of your day. See ya.